Welcome. I'm Tim Fortescue, an IFS trained practitioner specializing in spiritual growth and healing. And it's just been encouraging working with folks along their journey, some who've experienced religious trauma, some that are just seeking an ally on their spiritual journey to let them know that they are capable uh, of leaning into their true self, their belovedness, and maybe they just need some encouragement there. And so it's just been encouraging walking along and supporting folks on that journey. I do always like to make sure that folks know when I do have a couple one-on-one slots available that they're available, and I do right now in my schedule. And so if you're curious about what IFS coaching could look like, or if you need some support, reach out. You can go to my website and book a consult, or you can always send me an email to tim@faithfullygrowing.com, and I'd be glad to interact with you. If you're new, you can find out more about me on my website, faithfullygrowing.com. And as we go throughout our time today, if you have questions, go ahead and type them in the chat, and I'll do my best to engage with them at the end of our time. And as always, if you're watching a recording, go ahead and put your comments in too, and I'd be glad to interact and continue tracking with the comments there throughout the week. Let's see, before I get into our content, I encourage you. I've just launched my coaching groups, and I found that in coaching groups and individual coaching is two different experiences, and both are good. With the groups, you can get an idea of how the parts work happens within the context of others, and kind of healing happening within a container. And sometimes the group dynamics and parts that come up can be trailheads to neat discoveries if we can stay curious. So check out my coaching groups. The next one is on shame resilience and building inner strength and self-acceptance. And here in the US, it's on Saturday, March 16th, and would love to have you join if you can. And let me see if there's any other commercial type things. Parts of me hate to do this, but just want to make sure that I'm covering my bases, and I think we're good. But you can check out under offerings on my website. You can check out whether it's one-on-one coaching, or I have a coaching community that you can be a part of, as well as some of the coaching groups, and would love to meet some of you if it makes sense. Okay, enough about that. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about trailheads in IFS, or internal family systems. And for those of you who have joined and are familiar with the IFS model, you know that it proposes that our psyche is composed of various parts, each representing different aspects of our personality and experiences. And trailheads within the model serve as entry points to the vast wilderness of our inner world. But it's those, sometimes I've heard it called triggers, but I found that the word trigger can elicit a stronger response, and it can be confusing because a trailhead doesn't have to be a trigger or an argument. It could be, but it could just be an emotion or a feeling or something that may not be considered as triggering, but just an opening to be curious. And that's what trailheads are in the model. It may be helpful to imagine your mind as a sprawling landscape teeming with diverse ecosystems, hidden paths, and trailheads, just like on a hiking trail, are markers to these paths, guiding us toward the exploration of our inner world, from the peaks of joy to the valleys of sorrow. Sometimes trailheads can lead us to those peaks of joys. Sometimes it can be the opposite. And that's why I like trailheads as opposed to triggers. And as we traverse these internal trailheads, we encounter different parts of ourselves. Maybe it's the wounded child seeking comfort, the protective guardian shielding us from harm, the inner critic voicing self-doubt. Each has its own story and purpose, influencing our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. However, navigating the inner wilderness isn't always easy. We may encounter obstacles such as emotional barriers, unresolved traumas, or deeply ingrained patterns of behavior. Yet it's through these challenges that we have the opportunity to cultivate greater self-awareness and healing. But it's not always easy. And I find that those parts that may not want to face the challenges have a lot to teach us too. And one of the core principles of IFS is the concept of self. Sometimes you'll hear me call that belovedness, or maybe it's God image. Maybe it's Buddha nature, or maybe it's just capital S self for you. But the compassionate and wise core of our being. And trailheads serve as gateways to reconnecting with this inner self, fostering a sense of inner harmony and integration. And by approaching our internal trailheads with curiosity and compassion, we embark on a journey of self-discovery and healing. And we learn to listen to the voices of our inner parts with empathy and understanding, ultimately leading to a deeper sense of wholeness and authenticity. And so as I lead us in our exercise and meditation, and the exploration of our inner world and those trailheads, it may be helpful to remember that the journey inward is a profound and ongoing process. And by honoring our inner trailheads and embracing the wisdom that a model like IFS brings, we embark on a transformative path towards self-discovery and inner peace. So let's begin our meditation and check in with our inner world. And find a comfortable position. Maybe it's seated or lying down. You can gently close your eyes, or you can keep them open and just let your gaze rest softly in front of you if you prefer. Just take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, begin to relax your body from head to toe. And in this meditation, we're going to embark on a journey into the depths of our inner world. And kind of keep the idea of trailheads in our parts work in mind. Imagine yourself standing at the entrance of a vast wilderness, ready to explore the landscape of your inner world, your inner psyche. And as you take your first step forward, envision a trailhead emerging before you. This trailhead represents the gateway to your inner world, inviting you to embark on a journey of self-discovery and healing. The trailhead may represent a conversation that you've had in the past, or something you've got coming up, a life event, or it could just be a trailhead to be curious on. As you approach the trailhead, notice the emotions and sensations that arise within you. Perhaps you feel excitement, curiosity. Maybe you're noticing some thoughts, actions, impulses. Some parts may want to stay back and wait, and that's okay too. Whatever you're feeling, allow yourself to fully experience it without judgment if you can. And take note that what's coming up, these are likely your parts, those voices, your inner world. And just take a moment and see if your parts are aware of you. Maybe spend some time helping them get to know you if they aren't aware. How are you feeling toward those parts? And if you can, just let them know that you have that self and extend them some of those self-like qualities like compassion, wisdom, the core of your being. Let them know they're not alone. They're beloved. You're beloved. See if you can envision this inner self, whether it be within you or external, just leading or maybe standing beside you, offering guidance and support as you navigate the terrain of your inner landscape. With yourself by your side, begin to explore the trailhead. As you walk, notice the various parts of yourself that emerge along the path. Maybe it's parts that align with the wounded child seeking comfort, or the protective guardian watching over you, or the inner critic forcing self doubt and voicing that self doubt. As you encounter each part, greet them with kindness and curiosity, compassion if you can, and listen to their stories. Acknowledge their presence. Thank them for their courage and being seen and heard today, and for the roles they've played in your life. They bring gifts. They belong. They make us whole, but they're not alone. See if they can envision coming together in unity, each contributing their unique strength and qualities to the greater whole of you. There may be burdens that they're carrying that never were who they are. They're not carrying those along either, and they can let go of some of those if they'd like to in their own time, but there's no pressure. Just continue to breathe, and as you inhale and exhale, if you're feeling more of a sense of that spaciousness and peace and wholeness, see if you can extend that to your broader system and parts. Know that you're enough. Your parts, those younger parts, they're welcome. They bring gifts, but some of these burdens, they weren't meant to carry. You're here now. You have resources to help. Know that you have the power to navigate this inner landscape of your psyche with courage and compassion, but also care for those who may be distrustful. And just see if there's anything else that's coming up that may need to be voiced from you or your inner family. And as we come to the end of this meditation, take a moment and express gratitude for the journey you've embarked upon today. Thank all your parts, and then begin to make your way back to the base of the trailhead. When you get back, let those parts know that may have stayed behind, that you're here, you're back. Maybe share with them some of the experience of walking this trail and this journey. Thank them for their courage in letting you do that. Then, when it feels right, feels complete for now, you can slowly bring your awareness back to the present moment. Gently wiggle your fingers and toes. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. Thanks so much for joining me for this meditation, and I hope you can carry this sense of inner peace and integration with you as you continue on your own journey in life. Thanks for joining me for this meditation. Take care. And I try to do this each week. If you have questions, drop them in the chat, and I'll engage with the chat even throughout the week if you're watching a recording of this. If you haven't already, I encourage you to like. If you like the channel, like it, subscribe, share it with others. And then finally, Faithfully Growing has an aspect of the practice that is a nonprofit that helps provide coaching to those who may not normally have access to it. And if you'd like to make a tax-deductible donation, you can do that at faithfullygrowing.com/donate. But thanks so much again for joining me. Feel free to send me an email to tim@faithfullygrowing.com if I can ever be of assistance. But be well. Know that you're enough. I'll try to keep that in my mind too, that we're beloved human beings. And so grateful for this community, and have a great week.